Welcome back to my YouTube channel, everyone. My name is Saman Habibi, and I'm here with my dear friend Jacob Sofer, founder and CEO at MetroSuite. Jacob, thanks for joining me.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We've done 2 or 3 videos now.
Yeah.
Yes, and the videos have done really well. I'm getting a lot of phone calls. You're getting a lot of phone calls about the videos we've done. So thank you for inviting me to do another video with you. The first video we did was a sit down where we just talked about everything technical. And then the second video, we were at your showroom doing a tour of the garden suite. So why don't you tell us where we are today?
Yeah, so we're at one of our projects. We have a duplex on the side here, and the property owner is looking to add more space in the back.
Yep.
So we built MetroSuite 1, which is the unit that we walked through.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So let's walk and talk. So, you know, we're walking down an alleyway right now.
Yep.
That takes us to the back of the property. One of the main questions that I always get is, can I do it on my property?
Right.
And right now we're walking down an alleyway, which takes us to the back of the property. So why don't you talk about the importance of this, taking us to the back of the property to achieve, you know, the room that's required to get a garden suite in your backyard. And maybe you can just tell us high level, what kind of properties qualify for garden suites, and if you guys have any tools that are available to the public to determine if they can put a garden suite on their property.
Yeah, so great questions. So this alleyway slash driveway really was only needed for the site work, so to get everything ready.
Yeah.
But the actual home itself, the prefab home, it doesn't require like space between the house to bring by truck. It's actually craned in the air.
Wonderful. Yeah.
So it's a really the approach that we're hoping for is to be very light touch.
Yeah.
And really minimize the amount of time and space that we're on the property.
Wonderful. So let's walk to the back. And you mentioned that you guys use a crane to bring the garden suite to the back of this property. So we have footage of that. We're going to show the footage. And let's just turn around so our audience can see the garden suite as well, and we can talk about it. So this is the garden suite that we actually toured at the showroom.
That's right.
And we have footage of that as well, and we'll definitely show that footage as well. So in terms of, so you spoke about the laneway, not really necessary. It's just to kind of be able to access the property. Are there any tools that you guys provide or any services where people can call you and say, this is my property, does it qualify for a garden suite?
Yeah, there's there is a link on our website. If you fill out the form, we can get back to that homeowner with some eligibility, no charge. There's also
it's a free service.
Free service completely.
Yeah.
There's also a few websites that we're familiar with that you can just sort of Google free eligibility report garden suite, and I think a few links come up. They also offer that service, and maybe they could contact you as well.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, absolutely.
And you can offer some.
We'll definitely put the link to your website in the show notes below, so if people want to access it, they can definitely do that. So how was that process? It must have been exciting for you to kind of bring this over, you know, over this duplex, crane it over. Yeah. So it came in how many pieces?
Came in 2 pieces.
Yeah.
You can see that wood piece on the roof there. That's the mating section.
Yeah.
So it didn't come over the duplex, it came over these neighbors.
Okay, yeah.
We had to close down the street. We had about 25 people come out. They had their phones out while I was craning.
Yeah.
And in one day, like they just craned both pieces and just connected it.
Wonderful.
It was really simple.
So tell us about this garden suite, square footage, the number of bedrooms, bathrooms.
Yeah, so this particular home has 1 bed, 1 bath. It's got open kitchen living space area at the front.
Yeah.
And it's really meant for a single person, a couple. It's really a condo on the grounds.
Right. Yeah. And who are you finding, like who's typically coming to you? Is it the homeowner who wants to add in this suite? Is it an investor? Is it, you know, institutions who are doing it?
So while interest rates were a bit higher in the past year and a half, it's mostly been end users.
Yeah.
Investors, we are starting to see a little bit more, and hopefully into 2025.
Yeah.
This particular property is actually an institution.
Okay.
It's a charity that focuses on rehabilitating and helping mental health patients.
Oh, very nice.
And so this is actually for one of their clients.
Okay. So this is going to be like a patient's going to be staying here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. Okay, so we spoke about the size, and then so essentially to get the garden suite back here, it requires its own electrical, plumbing, sewer, and is that all piggybacking off the existing property?
Yeah, so we had to run 4 lines: hydro, data, water, and sewer.
Yeah.
And they're all run underground.
Yeah.
And so we took care of all of that. It was about a week's work.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, we also did the foundation. So we set everything up, and then the craning day happened, and we're now just doing the final connection.
Very nice. So when someone reaches out to you and they essentially their property is eligible for the garden suite, from the time that you start, why don't you talk about timelines and what you guys handle, whether it be from the permitting process to the actual delivery, the landscaping. Give us a sense of timelines and what MetroSuite handles.
Yeah, so when we last spoke a year and a half ago, we said about 4 to 6 months, I believe, from permit.
Yeah.
We got the permit here in May,
Yeah.
and we're just at the end of October, so
Nice.
it'll be about 6 months.
6 months. Very cool.
As we continue doing these, we'll get faster, but that's 4 to 6 months is what we anticipate.
And just to clarify, this can be done anywhere in Ontario at the moment. So you can have a garden suite as long as your property allows for it and is eligible for it anywhere in Ontario. This is pretty much good to go.
As long as the zoning allows for it, exactly.
Yeah. And from a zoning perspective, you know, most residential properties, so zoning and lot size is important as well.
Zoning, yes, for sure.
Yeah.
So having the space to do it,
Yeah.
and then not being in maybe environmentally sensitive zones.
Right. Okay. Yes.
Those are very important things.
Okay. And MetroSuite handles the whole process. So from permitting all the way. So essentially from saying, do the project, you guys take over and you just give people the key at the end and say, this is yours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. So we took care of the entire process.
Yeah.
So getting the permit, utilities, foundation, the home, everything to occupancy.
Yeah.
And also, if not as important, the price that we gave to the client was fixed, as I mentioned.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Wonderful. Yeah.
And what we do now is, because this is almost complete, as well as our other projects, we invite new potential clients to speak with our existing clients to confirm, hey, did MetroSuite actually go back and did they really fix the price, or did they go back?
Yeah.
And the answer will be no.
Okay. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, I'm going through a renovation myself right now, and the price is not fixed, that's for sure. So that's a very good selling feature. So, you know, you quote the job, it's a fixed price. That means you're pretty detailed in your quoting process. And then you provide another benefit. You guys are a Tarion builder.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
we are.
And you provide that Tarion warranty on the garden suites.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
It's a contract home warranty, 7 years.
Yeah.
Very standard.
Very good.
Yeah.
So we spoke about, you mentioned pricing and cost. Why don't you give us a sense of the cost on this garden suite and what it cost the homeowner?
Yeah. So I'll just caveat, our construction costs are in flux.
Yeah.
So pricing's on our website. At the moment, this home is listed at $305,000 plus HST.
Yeah.
And then what we do is we sort of separate out any site-specific upgrades. So if you have a shed that needs demo, you need to upgrade your panel to get in compliance.
Yeah.
Then we take all that information, we visit your site, and we create a project proposal. And then that final price at the bottom, that's what's fixed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's 305 for the garden suite, and then there might be a little bit here and there for the additional services.
Yes, but we would then finalize that price on the proposal, and that's what we would go by.
And that
So
remains.
that remains. So when we sign to that, that's the final price.
Okay. And in terms of HST, you mentioned that there's HST on these. Are homeowners typically, they're allowed to apply for a rebate on the HST?
Yeah, so we definitely refer out homeowners to professionals.
Yeah.
But from our understanding, there are a whole bunch of HST rebate programs.
Yeah.
So definitely they're available
for that. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, there's a whole bunch of other programs that the government is coming out with, like better amortization,
yes,
like insurance, CMA. I don't know.
Yeah, there's the CMHC programs as well. So there's, I think, What I'm noticing is that it's being encouraged by the provincial government and by local municipalities. And CMHC is helping with it as well when it comes to the amortization period and the interest rates. But yeah, I think it's changing. It's changing quite a bit, but the good sign is that it's being encouraged.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of new programs coming out for it as well. Okay, and I guess more importantly, people want to know, how do we pay for the garden suite? What kind of programs are there from the banks that you're aware of from a financing perspective that people can look forward to?
Yeah, so what we found is that the banks are now introducing garden suite specific programs. So EQ Bank just came out with a financing offering where they include the value of the garden suite when they're seeing how much they can lend against the property.
Okay.
RBC has a new construction mortgage, so there's more financing products coming online.
Yeah, that's good. I think when we first did these videos, people were wondering, how do we pay for this?
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, to your point, it's because it's becoming so common, it's mandated the Bill 23, is that?
Bill 23.
Bill 23, since that's been mandated, it's been a lot of pressure on the banks as well to kind of figure out how to help people achieve these. So it's good to know that you're seeing what your clients are doing and sharing that with us. And then besides that, why don't we walk a little bit and you can just point out certain things to us. Why don't you just talk about like the facade and the finishing on it, because it's a very neat looking product. It's very clean. It's very chic. So maybe, yeah, let's just talk about it.
You're making me blush with all these compliments. Yeah, so we made certain choices to really keep the quality of the product high. You'll see the siding that we chose. The supplier company is called Maybach Excel, and it's sort of a wood composite. This particular color is a nice gray finish. And then going to the windows, as you can see, we really try and keep as much sunlight in the space as possible. It's a smaller space than a normal house, so we kept the height of the ceilings high, and then lots of windows as well.
Yes. Yeah, it looks beautiful. And this is on a concrete slab.
This one is.
Yeah.
All of our future builds will be on what's called metal helical piles.
Okay.
So
what's that?
Yeah, so that's a set of piers.
Yeah.
That are in rows, and the home actually just comes and sits on the metal piers.
Yeah.
Helps us keep the costs down. The structural integrity is exactly the same.
Yeah.
And it's super fast. It's installed in a day.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really?
So we can include the link in the show notes to that.
That'd be awesome. We have some footage of the inside, so we'll definitely talk about that as well. Anything in the inside that you want to point out to? Why don't you tell us about the HVAC and what kind of systems you're running in there to heat and cool the unit?
Sure.
Yeah,
for sure. So in this home, it is a mini split heat pump system. So it takes fresh air from the outside through the heat pump, and then runs it through the wall mounted units.
Yeah.
And then we also have a heat recovery ventilator. So that just takes heat from the inside, crosses it with the air on the outside, and it's just more energy efficient. It's no gas, and it's all electrical.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you think at some point there would be solar panel on top of these?
Good question.
Yeah.
We're open to it.
Yeah.
If someone wanted that, we could definitely take a look.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Maybe that's like a MetroSuite and Tesla combination.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Maybe add a Starlink.
Yeah, Starlink to it as well. Wonderful. Excellent. And lastly, what about landscaping? What happens with landscaping after? Is it included in the price that you guys charge?
Yeah, so what we say is we'll bring the landscaping back to how we found it. So we take photos of the property, and then we get it back once the home's done. Yeah. So there's gonna be a deck here as well.
Yeah.
And then the landscaping and grading will be back to how we found it.
All right, Jacob. So we spoke about the one bed. Can you tell us what other options you guys offer?
Yeah. So we offer a 2-bed.
Yeah.
That's 600 square feet.
Yeah.
And then we offer a larger 1-bed that's 600 square feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So options for people.
Okay.
Yes, they have options. Wonderful. Perfect. So why don't you tell us how people can get in touch with you and connect with you, see some of the work you've done?
Yeah, for sure. They can go to our website, www.metrosuite.com. They can look through the information and submit a form if they're interested in moving further.
Wonderful. And if you guys have any questions for Jacob or myself, feel free to drop it in the comment section below. I will answer it myself, or if I don't know the answers, I'll reach out to Jacob. He's been very helpful. He can answer them for you as well. And if, as Jacob said, if you guys want to jump on a one-on-one call with him, we'll leave the link to the eligibility document on their website in the show notes below. And definitely, if you have any questions or you're thinking of doing this, connect with myself, connect with Jacob. Jacob, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thanks so much.
Third video. And hopefully if you guys like it, maybe we'll do another video as well.